What's good? It's your boy CJ Goodfella back with the Boxing Clinic one time for the one time. LDBC up in the building. Reacting to Bernard Hopkins' comments. Brought to you by TMZ. Shout out to them one time for the one time. Saying that, McGregor and Mayweather is a fake fight news or some shit like that. Also saying that, you have people that's leaning towards buying McGregor Mayweather over Triple G Canelo. Saying you have an opportunity to buy Ferrari and you buying a Pontiac instead. Now if this was a non-biased party, it had nothing to do with the situation. I would agree. A lot of hardcore fans are getting behind Bernard Hopkins, saying look at Hopkins, and the purists are saying look at Hopkins, leading the crusade against the fake fight McGregor and Mayweather. Okay, because most of these people look at this fight as a money grab. Saying Mayweather's been robbing us for years or whatever. What about Canelo robbing you, making you pay for Angulo, or make you pay for Chavez Jr. when they know at the weight he had no chance, okay? And you look at the whole situation where people are getting behind Bernard Hopkins, but he works for Golden Boy. He's a guy that was singing Al Heyman praises when he was being represented by Al Heyman, and then when they split the fighters up and they tried to take control of Golden Boy because Oscar De La Hoya wasn't handling his business, and Richard Schaefer had to assume the position of the head of the company while Oscar was out there wearing fishnets sniffing up coke. He was all down with Al Heyman, but when the split came and he chose a side to be with Golden Boy so he can get the checks keep rolling in for him. Now he wants to cop out and do this for him. He's not saying this for the sake of boxing. He's saying this for the sake of his company. This Canelo and Triple G fight is putting bread in his pocket. You feel me? He's not saying this as a Burt Sugar or Teddy Atlas, somebody who had nothing to do with the situation. He's saying this as strictly as a business, person that works for Golden Boy Promotions. I remember he was bashing, Donovan McNabb, and now who's copping out? Who's against the struggle? Who's against the resistance now? Who's against free boxing, headed by a black man? Al Heyman. Who blasted Al Heyman, said these guys need to take control of their own career? It's Bernard Hopkins, but he blasted, Donovan McNabb for being, whatever he wanted to be. Sound like he was calling him a coon. But who's the coon now? Who's copping out now? Who's putting money over dignity now? It's Bernard Hopkins. And I'm not saying, you're not saying that, you can't be a company man, but that's what he being, a company man. At the end of the day, it's a dude who left Brother Nas, and picked up John David Jackson for whatever reason. After John David Jackson fighter just beat his ass damn near into retirement, and Joe Smith Jr. finished the job, got what he got coming to him. Goes around, comes around like a hula hoop. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not, bashing him. You can't knock his accomplishments as a fighter, but as a businessman, that's what he's speaking as. He said, before I say this, I'm with Golden Boy. Most people don't realize that amongst the casuals, and you not. Like, if your fight was so much more dominant, so much more prestigious, so much more, you was gonna market it, you was gonna do everything you got to do, why you always bringing up the fake fight, McGregor Mayweather? You feel me? Why you always bringing that up? Everyone in their press conference, they bring this shit up, even without the media asking them. Sometimes they bring it up. Oh, don't buy that fight. Why are you going out your way? Do you see, Floyd and Leonard Ellaby, Dana White saying that shit? Don't buy that fight. They didn't say that shit. They're not concerned about it. I like what Tom Loeffler said, who promotes Triple G. He said, I think both fights will do well. He left it at that. Ain't knocking it. Ain't saying shit about it. But every promoter, if they had a chance to put their fighter in there with McGregor, and they thought of the idea first, this is my issue with it. If they thought of the idea first, they'll be promoting it, tell you how good it was. Oscar's on wax saying that if Floyd and McGregor fell through, he wouldn't mind putting Canelo in there with that. So the Floyd and McGregor fell in, you wouldn't be getting Triple G versus Canelo. You'd be getting Canelo versus McGregor, and they'd be singing a different sentiment. And Bernard would be telling you how great this fight is, how great the event is. That's my issue with it. The double standards, the two-facedness. Bernard is always been a hater. Always took the easy way out in most of his fights. Always complained when he lost versus Jermaine Taylor. Lost twice, still complained. Faked the shoulder injury versus Chad Dawson. Never seen an x-ray after that. Even was trying to cry about when Joe Smith Jr. knocked him out the ring. And actually was hating on Andre Ward before the first Kovalev fight. He don't have a chance. Kovalev punch hard. Just saying shit like that. A very despicable, hateful motherfucker. Undercover, hateful motherfucker. You know, at the end of the day, man, let's say, you know, I think our fight is the better fight, but we'll see who the fans choose. But they going out their way to spit bad blood on this fight. And the other fight ain't going out their way to spit bad blood on nothing. You ain't heard nothing come when they had that press conference. If they do say something, McGregor and Mayweather, about the fight, you know, it'll be a retaliation of what these guys said. They started it. You know, with their boring ass press conference and shit. But it is what it is. We gone.